Well, I always like to start in the beginning, and I noticed a picture on your Facebook wall. And I can't remember which of the four it was, but it was two here with your dad when you were really young, the holding sound.
Oh yeah, that was me and Johnny, the accordion player, older brother.
And would this be a typical, I don't know, Sunday afternoon?
Yeah, it was. Both our parents wanted us to learn music from a very young age. So we all learned piano from maybe 3 years old. And then also, because of the recording studio, our dad had all kinds of instruments lying around, and he would let us we just play with them and sometimes make music, sometimes make noise.
So it was definitely encouraged
Yeah.
when you were younger to pick up an instrument.
Yeah.
So, well, what kind of influence did your dad have then? Because, well, there's a lot of instruments lying around. He has his history in his music. So did he try to teach you this as well, or was it something where he just let you do what you do?
He started us early on playing piano, learning, like the fundamentals of piano, playing our scales, learning chords, and that was really early at 3 or 4 years old. And it was just going to be like another subject. We went to school to learn mathematics or English, and music was just going to be another subject. It wasn't necessarily his plan to make a band out of us, but we started to enjoy it, and he encouraged it as we went along. If we wanted to learn guitar, he was always there to teach us something on guitar, or if we wanted to sing, he was there to sing harmonies with us.
And in terms of the type of music that we playing around the house, I suppose, did he have an effect on you in that way as well?
Yeah. I think definitely. It's not like he sat us down and said, "Here, we're going to listen to this kind of music." He would just put it on, every different kind of music you can imagine he put on. And so we grew up listening to classical music or opera or African music or jazz or the Beatles or even modern music as well. So. And
when you were younger, you spent time in London as well.
Yeah.
So was there a difference between the type of music you would get to hear in South Africa and then opposed to Europe? Or?
I think not intentionally, but maybe just because of the weather and the environment in London, you tend to listen to a certain kind of music, and then we moved to South Africa, where it's really beautiful in the summers, and you go swimming, and he would put Bob Marley on, or put some West African music like Salif Keita. And so I have memories of being in the pool, hearing this amazing music, which it definitely has a different vibe to it.
And once you, was it that you were born in Arizona, or did you just move there later?
We were born in London. Three of us, the three older ones, were born in London. We left when we were quite young, and grew up in South Africa. And then we moved from South Africa to Phoenix in 1996.
Okay. So did this change? This is because Arizona also sunny climates, not so much beach, but so was this the same type of musical headspace that you were in when you were in Arizona?
Yeah, I mean, maybe what changed was the fact that we started to reach teenage years, so we started to want to have our own music that we were into. So Johnny, he started listening to hip hop and drum and bass and everything, and more sort of current alternative rock and everything. But we still listened to all the various types of music that he had lying around, CD collection.
And was it around this time that you started playing as a band together, or was it even earlier?
No, I mean, I guess we maybe jammed a tiny bit, but it was in Phoenix that we started the band and played some covers, started to learn how to play as a band. And we were actually all started on different instruments. I think Jesse was on guitar at first.
Yeah, I was playing guitar. Danny played drums, and Dylan also played guitar. And then as the band started to get more serious, we realized we needed bass. You have to have bass in the band. And so even though Dylan's a guitar player, he picked up the bass. His hands are suited for it, and he's good at it. So.
But was there any ambition behind it at this point when you started to play together and rehearse in a sense?
At first it was just for fun, because we were just playing cover songs, playing for fun. But it quickly became ambition. The two older brothers went and studied jazz at ASU, and they started playing in a lot higher quality and caliber of bands. And the two younger brothers, Danny and I, were still in high school. But once we kind of graduated from high school, it was a choice between either going to college and pursuing like a regular job or pursuing music, and we decided, and our parents supported us in pursuing music.
Was there a plan then? Did you have something sketched out in the sense of we're going to do this and then we're going to move here? And
I think when we first did our first gig together as four brothers, it was at a talent show, and we only did 2 songs, and it was really terrible, and we're thankful that it was not recorded. But you know, maybe after that first gig or two, the picture starts to form of 4 brothers who know each other, trust each other, have similar musical influences. You know, it's a good recipe for a band, and we saw that it could have a future. You know, it's a very risky job. Very few people are successful. But we had the support of our father, and our mother obviously, but his experience in a recording studio, so many ingredients to at least give it a good shot. And that's when the plan started to form. When we started recording, you know, the idea was, one day maybe we could be a big band. That's, you know, our thought.
Well, you mentioned the word trust. Was that, and it's because you are a band of brothers?
Yeah.
So this element of trust, has any of you played in different bands before?
Not seriously.
Yeah. Johnny and Jesse, they played in a few like jazz ensembles, jazz combos in college. I played like keyboards occasionally in a friend's band, but nothing serious. You know, we never did any touring or any like regular gigs with other bands. Because
I can imagine that being in a band with a sibling, and especially 4 of you, that it adds a certain dynamic that is different than I suppose most bands. So
yeah, you know what? I think what it did was, a lot of bands, when they've been together for 10 or 20 years, they are like brothers. You know, they become like a family, and so we, in a way, we skipped many of those years because we were already brothers. We already had that familiarity. And I think that was a strength, that we could jump right into making music together and skip over a lot of the mistakes maybe that you have to make in the beginning as you get to know each other. So that, I think maybe that's one of the effects of it.
Well, if we take, for instance, the songwriting process, is it easier to tell someone when you're related that it's not good, or that you don't like the idea?
Yeah, definitely. It's being brothers. It's very easy to tell someone that it's not good, but you're not telling them just to bring them down or to make fun of their song or whatever. You know, it's to try to get a better product and tell them the truth. And at the same time, it's also you don't often, a brother won't tell you that sounds awesome, or that's a great part, or that's a good song, if they don't actually mean it. You know, so that can mean a lot more. It can have a lot more weight than just some random person hearing a song or coming up to you after a show and going, "Hey, that was great." You can never really know, was it great, or are you just being nice? You know, a brother will be like, "No, that was shit. That was not."
and the same goes then for your father. I suppose he listened to your material.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you know, he's always played a role in guiding us in our music, and he's also very honest about his opinions with us. But he's also been very encouraging and supportive. So he may have said, yeah, he wouldn't say that's shit. He would say, maybe this could be better, you know. And occasionally he say that's shit when it truly was shit.
Well, is it then that you later look back at it and realize, oh, yeah, he was right? Or do you go in?
He's usually right, you know. He's had so many years in the business, and he's written so many songs and spent so many hours in the studio that he has an extremely good ear, especially for commercial songwriting. You know, whether you agree necessarily with his opinion, it's always a valid opinion.
Do you use him then as a sort of soundboard when you just finish a song? Or
Yeah, definitely. He would always come when we were recording in the studio, or even demoing a song. At some point, you know, we'd ask him to come listen, and it's good also for him not to listen the whole time, for maybe every few weeks or a month, whatever, come hear it, and then he has a fresh perspective, and he can give us a fresh opinion.
Do you remember what he thought of the song "Come With Me Now"?
I think, yeah, I think everybody, when we heard the original demo that Johnny made in his bedroom, there was just a visceral reaction. It has an immediacy to it, and everyone felt that. I think it needed a lot of work, and it needed collaboration and refining the production and everything, but the essence was there, and everyone saw it.